got another question here from Hashal, and this is where some of that data I wanted to get onto from before as well, where it's, are you still sourcing properties under $450,000? And this is a really good question. I went down the rabbit hole today to actually kind of touch on that, because going back to that YouTube video, which I referenced that we previously showed about the death of the $500,000 property, and I think when I first posted it, there might have even been some negative comments where people saying this is all rubbish, it's not going to happen. But I want to go through some stats in a moment. But the June summary, the lowest property we purchased, the highest property we purchased, of properties below 13%, of below 400,000 was at 13%. Properties below 450 was 18% of our purchases, and properties below 500,000 was at 27% of our purchases. Yet the median purchase price was at $580,000, which is telling me there's still a good amount of properties at that kind of $500,000 to $600,000 price range. However, we're really, really struggling to find properties below. And to give you some really kind of hard numbers here, so we're seeing here below $500,000, we're at 27% this year. In 2024, 41% of our purchases were below $500,000. And in 2023, we're at 63%. So for the last 2 years, that number has declined by 35%, around that mark, each and every year. So that tells me that next year, this number of 27% is probably going to go back another 35%, which is going to be, what is that going to put us at? Around about 18, 19% of properties below $500,000, which is a really low number. Now, some other stats. On the $450,000 price point, last year we were at 28%, so we've dropped 10%. In 2023, 44% of our purchases were below that $450,000 number. So again, about a 35% drop across the board there. And then when we get to the $400,000 price point, so in 2023, we were at 27%. We dropped down to 16% in 2024, and we're now at 13% right now for 2025. And this 13%, I can tell you right now, by the end of the year, because this is from June's data, this is trending down very, very fast. I think by the end of the year, we're probably going to be at about 9%, maybe 8%. So I think it's going to be really, really tough for in future years to secure properties below 500 to 600,000. I think it's going to be quite interesting, because I had this chat with a colleague today, and I actually think that in future years, solo investing, and I'm not talking about 5 years, probably talking about 15, 20 years, solo investing might be a thing of the past in property, or it might only be limited to a very select few, because the median loan at the moment at $600,000. Well, if everybody's going to go out there and start purchasing property with 2% deposits or 5% deposits, the median loan could shoot up to $1 million, right? So if everybody's loans are tied up in this and it's sucking up a huge amount of their wage, their ability to go out there and buy properties by themselves is probably not going to happen. So, group buying, family buys, joint ventures, that's probably going to be the next cycle of how do we keep up with property investing and affordability? Because we've kind of seen it in other things where, loan products change. LVRs used to be kind of 50% deposits, and it went to 70, 80, 90. Now you can basically go full loans. You got longer loan terms. It's up to 40-year loans now. So that's one evolution in terms of how affordability ticks on. The next one might be is that it goes down to that, joint investing, which you can still do now, but it's not as mainstream or as common. It might become the only way we can do it, because it will become to a point where we can already see right now, and this is declining about 35% over the last few years. And if we go through another big property spike, what kind of happened from, say, 2021, 2022 period, if we do that in, say, 2026, 2027, I can't see why there would be very many, if any, $500,000 properties left on the table. But thanks for flicking that one through.